It was a cold November night in London. The fog hanging over the Thames had wrapped the city's lights in a soft veil, calming the great metropolis's rapid pulse. The massive BBC television centre building rose like a fortress in the night. Tonight, one of the most prestigious talk shows in British television history, The Graham Norton Show, would once again gather millions of viewers in front of their screens. In the studio's backstage area, controlled chaos reigned as usual. The production crew was making last-minute preparations while voice rehearsal sounds echoed through the corridors. Tonight was special because the guest list included one of Hollywood's brightest stars, Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer looked magnificent that evening. She wore an elegant dark blue dress, her hair professionally styled, her makeup flawless. However, looking closely, there was slight tension in her eyes and a forced smile on her lips. The turmoil in her private life over the past few months had received widespread media coverage, and this situation had exhausted her considerably. "Jennifer, 15 minutes to go," said the production assistant politely. Jennifer nodded and looked at herself in the mirror one last time. Tonight she just wanted to promote her new film and have some fun. After all, The Graham Norton Show was known for its intimate atmosphere and relaxed vibe. In a corner of the studio, Graham Norton was also making his final preparations. The 61-year-old Irish host had interviewed thousands of celebrities in his career spanning over 20 years. He was known for his sense of humor, intimate approach, and ability to make his guests comfortable. However, recently, the show's ratings had dropped slightly and producers wanted more viral moments. "Graham, could you be a bit tougher tonight?" Head producer Sarah Mitchell had said just hours before the show. Jennifer Lawrence's private life is being talked about a lot. Viewers want to see real reactions, Graham had frowned. "Sarah, I'm not an interrogating judge. I show respect to my guests. Of course, but you could be a bit more provocative." For the ratings, this conversation had stuck in Graham's mind. At 10:30 p.m., the studio lights came on and Graham Norton took the stage to warm applause. Red chairs, colorful decor, live music. Everything was in place. "Good evening, everyone," Graham responded with an energetic voice. "We have a fantastic show tonight." The star of the Hunger Games series, who played Mystique in the X-Men films, an Oscar winner, "Jennifer Lawrence!" The music started and Jennifer walked toward the stage. She was smiling, but this smile wasn't entirely natural. She hugged Graham and sat in the red chair. "Jennifer, welcome. It's great to see you," Graham said sincerely. "Thank you, Graham. It's nice to be here," Jennifer replied, with a slight tremor in her voice. The first half hour went quite normally. Jennifer talked about her new film, shared filming memories, told a few funny stories. The audience laughed and applauded. However, during commercial breaks, some noticed small changes in Graham's behavior. When the cameras stopped rolling, he was checking his questions from notes, making eye contact with the production team. In the second segment, the atmosphere began to change slightly. Graham started asking more personal questions. "Jennifer, there's been a lot of paparazzi attention on you lately. How does this affect you?" Jennifer's body language changed. She leaned back slightly in her chair. "Well, you know, Graham, it's part of the job. Sometimes it gets tough, but especially how does it feel when romantic relationships are discussed so much in the media? Like those photos that came out last month?" Jennifer's smile froze. "Which photos?" "Well, you know, those romantic dinner photos. You looked quite intimate." Jennifer's face reddened, not from anger, but from embarrassment. "Graham, this is my private life. I prefer not to discuss this." Of course. But viewers are curious. Tension in the atmosphere was beginning to increase. When the final segment began, Graham's energy level had changed. He started asking more aggressive, more provocative questions. "Jennifer, you've made a name for yourself in Hollywood for authenticity. But are you this genuine in real life too?" "What do you mean?" "Well, sometimes people can have one personality in front of cameras and a completely different personality in real life." Jennifer frowned. "I'm always myself, Graham. But some people think you've changed lately. For example, in the past you were always seen as a relatable person, but now what?" Graham stopped. Sarah was nodding from the side of the stage, signaling him to continue. "Graham?" Jennifer was asking. "What did you just say?" And then that moment came. Chapter 2, Crossing the Line. Silence fell over the studio. Graham Norton looked at the cards in his hands one last time. There was growing unease in Jennifer Lawrence's eyes. "Jennifer," Graham began slowly, "you've always been known as someone genuine and approachable, but lately some people think you've changed." Jennifer's body language completely changed. "What kind of change, Graham?" "Well," Graham hesitated, "some people think you're now, how should I put it, fake." The word hung in the air. The expression on Jennifer's face completely changed. The smile disappeared, her eyes narrowed. "Fake?" Jennifer's voice came out sharp. "Who's saying this?" "It's being talked about a lot on social media. People think you're no longer that old genuine Jennifer." "Stop." Jennifer raised her hand. "Are you telling me now that viewers find me fake?" "It's just an observation, Jennifer." "No, Graham. This isn't an observation. This is an attack." The atmosphere in the studio had completely changed. The audience had fallen silent, understanding the seriousness of the situation. "What are you doing, Graham?" Jennifer's voice was beginning to rise.
Are you trying to corner me here?
"I came here to talk about my film." "Jennifer, please calm down." "Are you telling me to calm down?" Jennifer stood up. "Are you telling me to calm down now?" The production crew was panicking. Camera operators didn't know what to do. "You just accused me of being fake, Graham. In front of the audience. On live television. And now you're saying let's talk?" Jennifer's voice was reaching every corner of the studio. "Who are you, Graham? Who are you to question my authenticity? I've been in this business since I was 13. Do you know what I've been through?" Graham tried to back away. "Jennifer, no."
Now you listen to me!
"Have you ever experienced being followed by paparazzi at 16? Have you ever experienced having every move analyzed?" Jennifer was now in the center of the stage, walking toward Graham. "And now you come here and tell me I'm fake? Am I fake, Graham? Really? Me?" Jennifer took off her microphone and threw it on the table. The sound was very loud, echoing through the studio. "I'm done with you." Jennifer started to leave the stage. But before reaching the door, she stopped. She turned around. "Graham," she said, her voice now calmer but sharp. "You call me fake, but here's the truth. The fakest person here is you. You sat here with your artificial smile, your prepared questions, trying to corner me." Graham's face had gone completely white. "And one more thing. If you really want to know who I am, here's the real Jennifer Lawrence. I'm not as fake as some people say I am. But you're not as real as you think you are either." And with these words, Jennifer Lawrence left the stage. Graham Norton, for the first time in his 20-year career, was left not knowing what to say. After Jennifer Lawrence left the stage, an unprecedented silence fell over the Graham Norton Show studio. The 300-person audience sat in their seats, unable to comprehend what they had witnessed. Graham Norton stood frozen in the middle of the stage. His face was pale, his hands were shaking. The cameras across from him were still rolling, millions of viewers waiting at their screens, but he didn't know what to say. "Well?" Graham tried to speak, but no sound came out. This was an unexpected situation. A few people in the audience started clapping, but this applause was strange, uncertain. I guess she had a bit of a bad day. Graham tried to laugh, but it looked forced. Backstage, complete chaos was unfolding. "Where's Jennifer's manager?" Producer Sarah was shouting. "Call the PR team. We need a statement prepared urgently." "What's happening on social media?" Twitter has exploded. Indeed, social media had gone crazy. Jennifer Lawrence and Graham Norton hashtags had entered the worldwide trending topics within minutes. My Movie Fan 2023. Jennifer Lawrence just exploded on Graham Norton, live on air. Celeb Watcher. Graham Norton crossed the line. Jennifer was right. TV Critic. Jane. The biggest disaster Graham has seen in his 20-year career. "Well, we have to end our program here," Graham finally said. "We experienced unexpected situations tonight. Thank you. And to Jennifer too, if she's watching, thank you." The moment the cameras stopped rolling, Graham collapsed into his chair. He put his hands to his face. "Damn it. I think I just ended my career." Meanwhile, backstage, Jennifer Lawrence was experiencing her own crisis. In the dressing room, her manager Rebecca had rushed over, trying to assess the situation. "Jennifer, breathe. Stay calm. Stay calm. Rebecca, I just exploded on live television. Now we need to do damage control. I was right. That man tried to corner me." "Whether you were right or not isn't important right now. What's important is the damage this will do to your career." Jennifer looked at herself in the mirror. Her makeup was smeared, her hair disheveled, her eyes red. I called them fake, Rebecca. What did you say? I called Graham fake. I told him that he was the real fake one. Oh, Jennifer. I've been acting professionally since I was 13, Rebecca. When can I say what I want? Jennifer started pacing around the dressing room. That man humiliated me on live television. And you want me to be even more professional? Jennifer, someone from the BBC wants to speak. I think they want to apologize. Tell them I won't talk to anyone right now. I'm too angry. Outside, the media was going crazy. Cameras were starting to gather in front of BBC Television Centre. Only 2 hours had passed since Jennifer Lawrence left the BBC building when worldwide media frenzy began. Social media platforms were on fire. The Aren't Jennifer vs. Graham hashtag had entered trending topics not only in the UK but also in America, Australia, and even Japan. Daily Mail. Hollywood brats meltdown, Jennifer Lawrence has epic tantrum. The Guardian. When celebrity interviews go wrong, the Jennifer Lawrence incident. Variety. Jennifer Lawrence walks off Graham Norton's show after heated exchange. But the real battle was happening on social media. People had divided into two camps. Film critic, 25. Jennifer Lawrence is a spoiled millionaire. Couldn't handle one question. Movie lover, Sarah, no. Graham Norton crossed the line. Jennifer had every right to defend herself. British TV fan. Graham Norton has been professional for 20 years. One question doesn't make him a villain. Acting student LA. This is what happens when journalists prioritize ratings over respect. The most viral moment was when Jennifer said, "The fakest person here is you." This sentence had created a particularly powerful impact. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, Jennifer's mother, Karen Lawrence, woke up to phone calls. It was 3:30 a.m. Mom, it's me. Jennifer? What happened, sweetheart? Mom, I did something. I exploded during a talk show in London. Jennifer began telling the story. Karen became increasingly worried as she listened. Jennifer, did you really leave the stage? Yes, Mom. And I called him fake. Sweetheart, you defended yourself. That's not wrong at all. What if I really am fake, Mom? Jennifer Lawrence. You were never fake. You've always been an honest girl. In London, the situation at Graham Norton's house wasn't different. Graham was also sleepless. His phone kept ringing. Messages were coming. His close friend David Walliams had called. Graham, are you okay? No, David, I'm not okay at all. This will pass. People forget. Will they forget? This went viral. Worldwide viral. You've been doing this job for 20 years. People know you. But from now on, they'll know me as the man who upset Jennifer Lawrence. The next morning at 7 a.m., BBC's crisis meeting began. How's the situation? Bad, it went viral. International media is covering it. What's Graham's condition? In shock. He hasn't talked to anyone since last night. We need to make a statement. In which direction? Are we going to apologize to Jennifer or defend Graham? In the BBC boardroom, they watched the video again. Graham's question crossed the line, said the legal advisor. But Jennifer's reaction might also be disproportionate. No. If I were in Jennifer's place, I would have been angry too. In New York, Jennifer's PR firm was also holding a crisis meeting. According to social media, 60% support, 40% criticism, said the expert. Supporters say Graham crossed the line. Jennifer gave an authentic reaction. Critics say she wasn't professional. Acted spoiled. What should our strategy be? Stay silent. Jennifer was right, but if she makes a statement, she might complicate the situation. In Hollywood, the situation was different. Support messages were coming from Jennifer's friends, Emma Stone. Jen is one of the most genuine people I've ever met. Bradley Cooper. Jennifer is the most real person in this business. Liam Hemsworth. My Hunger Games sister is a warrior. In the afternoon, BBC made an official statement. Regarding the events that occurred last night, we want to state that we respect both Graham Norton and Jennifer Lawrence. We are reviewing the situation and will take necessary steps for a better experience in the future. At the same time, Jennifer's PR team also made a statement. Jennifer Lawrence currently prefers not to comment. We ask for respect for our artist's privacy. At 4:00 p.m., an unexpected development occurred. From Graham Norton's Twitter. After some reflection, I realize I crossed a line last night. Jen Lawrence deserved better from me. I'm sorry. This tweet went viral within minutes. Graham's apology somewhat calmed the situation. TV critic. John. Graham Norton just proved why he's a class act. Pop culture buzz. So Graham admits he was wrong. Will Jennifer respond? Jennifer was watching this development. He apologized, she said to Rebecca. What do you think? I don't know. It's a good thing, but seems a bit late. Will you respond? Not yet. Let's wait a bit. That evening, this confrontation caused worldwide discussions about talk show ethics. Harvard media ethics professor. This incident raises important questions about the boundaries of celebrity journalism. Professor Sarah Chen from Columbia. We need to talk about both interviewer and interviewee rights. In terms of ratings, that night's show had broken viewing records. But this was a bitter success. 2 days later, Jennifer gave an exclusive interview to People magazine. I want people to understand that I'm human. I have emotions, breaking points. That night, I reached mine. Do you regret walking off? I regret that it happened. But I don't regret standing up for myself. What about Graham's apology? I appreciate it. It takes courage to admit when you're wrong. This interview somewhat calmed the situation. A week later, Graham also made a statement on television. I've been doing this job for 20 years. I've prided myself on making guests comfortable. Last week I failed. I'm sorry. Will you change your interview style? I'll be more mindful. Everyone deserves basic respect. This mutual respect began the healing process. 2 weeks had passed since the incident, but its echoes continued. The Jennifer Lawrence, Graham Norton confrontation had become a catalyst for ongoing debates about television ethics and celebrity culture. In Hollywood, discussions about the effects on Jennifer's career had begun. Studio executives were worried. Would Jennifer be labeled as difficult? A meeting was being held at Warner Bros. How much bad publicity did that incident bring? Actually mixed. Some support her, find her authentic. Will it affect the box office? Jennifer's fan base is very strong. This incident might make her more relatable. The meeting concluded with a decision. Jennifer's project would continue. But press activities would be planned more carefully. At the BBC, Graham Norton's future was also being discussed. Graham's apology was good. It showed his character. But it damaged the show's reputation. Look at the ratings. That episode broke records. Subsequent episodes are also getting higher ratings. It was decided that the Graham Norton show would continue. But future episodes would be more carefully supervised. A month later, an unexpected development occurred. After Ellen DeGeneres ended her show, the talk show landscape had changed. In Hollywood, people began talking about Jennifer Lawrence doing her own talk show. This could be a brilliant idea, said her manager Rebecca. You're known for doing authentic interviews. But do I want to be a host? You can empathize with celebrities. You know what they go through. This suggestion stuck in Jennifer's mind. She would premiere at the Venice Film Festival, her first major public appearance since that incident. Are you ready? Rebecca asked on the private jet. I have to be ready. This is my job. The arrival in Venice was dramatic. Hundreds of photographers and reporters were waiting on the red carpet. Jennifer, any comment about the Graham Norton incident? Jennifer, do you regret what happened? Jennifer smiled but didn't answer the questions. She acted professionally at the press conference after the premiere. Jennifer, what are your reflections on the Graham Norton incident? Look, I'm human. I have emotions. That night I felt disrespected and I reacted. Do I regret it? I regret that it happened, but I don't regret standing up for myself. Have you spoken with Graham since? We've communicated through our teams. There are no hard feelings. Would you appear on his show again? Never say never. But maybe we'd both approach it differently. These answers were measured and diplomatic. In Venice, Hollywood figures showed support for Jennifer, Quentin Tarantino. Jennifer showed spine. This business needs more people who won't be pushed around. Kate Blanchett. I respect Jennifer's courage. Martin Scorsese. Actors need to be protected in interview situations. This support restored Jennifer's confidence. In London, Graham Norton had also progressed in his healing process. When he returned to his first show, he was nervous, but the audience was supportive. I want to address what happened a few weeks ago. I made a mistake. I learned from it, and I'll do better. The audience applauded. His first guest was Hugh Jackman. Mate, we all make mistakes. What matters is how we learn from them. The show went smoothly. Graham was more careful but maintained his warmth. 6 months later, an unexpected reconciliation occurred. Jennifer and Graham encountered each other at the same charity event. Jennifer, how are you? I'm well, Graham. You? Getting better? Listen, I want to say again how sorry I am. I appreciate that, Graham. I might have reacted strongly too. No, you were right to stand up for yourself. We both learned something that night. Maybe someday we could try again. A proper interview with proper respect? Maybe, but next time let's just talk about movies. They both laughed. Deal. This reconciliation received positive headlines the next day. Jennifer Lawrence and Graham Norton make peace. Classy reconciliation between TV host and movie star. A year later, Jennifer actually returned to the Graham Norton show as a guest. But the atmosphere was completely different. How does it feel to be back? Different. But good different. We've both learned a lot. You've learned to be more respectful. I've learned to be more patient. Not too patient. Your authenticity is what people love. Just authentic enough. Jennifer winked. The interview was wonderful. Natural, funny, respectful. In terms of final impact, this incident led to several important changes. Talk show producers became more conscious about celebrity privacy. Interview guidelines were updated at many networks. 3. Celebrity advocacy for respectful treatment increased. Public discourse about media ethics improved. Jennifer's career wasn't affected. Actually, many people respected her more. Graham's career also continued, but he became known for an even more respectful interviewing style. Most importantly, this incident became a case study on how public figures can handle conflict, learn from mistakes, and ultimately emerge stronger. 2 years had passed since the incident. Jennifer Lawrence was now filming a new film series, and her career was stronger than ever. Her stance that night had led to the redefinition of the concept of respect in Hollywood. Graham Norton continued to be an interviewing legend. But now he was seen as a mentor on respectful questioning. Both had not forgotten what that night taught them. Jennifer learned that balance could be struck between authenticity and professionalism. She always had the right to defend herself, but she could do so while remaining composed. Graham learned that there was a thin line between entertainment and exploitation. Engaging viewers was important, but it shouldn't come at the expense of his guests' dignity. The real lesson of this story: conflict was inevitable, but how it was handled changed everything. Growth, understanding, and respect through honest communication were possible, and most importantly, everyone, celebrity or not, deserved basic human dignity. Jennifer's final words. That night changed me. Not because I regretted standing up for myself, but because I learned that strength doesn't always have to come with anger. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is set boundaries with grace. But first, you have to be willing to set them at all. Graham's wisdom. I learned that being a good interviewer isn't about asking the hardest questions. It's about creating a space where genuine conversation can happen. Respect isn't the enemy of good television. It's the foundation of it. And so, one night's confrontation strengthened 2 careers and became a catalyst for industry-wide change. Sometimes, the most powerful moments come from the most unexpected places.